Okay, so we know that decimals are just a special kind of fraction. And sometimes we like to express a number as a fraction, and sometimes we want to express it as a decimal. How do we convert between the two kinds of notation? One direction is super easy. When we want to write a decimal as a fraction, well, we do what it says on the box. Right, if we have, for example, the decimal 0.4, well, the numerator is just 4. It says so on the box. And we want 1 0 in the denominator. 1 digit after the decimal point, 1 0 in the denominator. Now maybe we want to simplify this, but notice, powers of 10 only have 2's or 5's as prime factors. So if we go to simplify this, 10 is easy to factor. 4 is pretty easy to factor too. So we'll have 2 times 2 over 2 times 5. We get 2/5. Now, things get a very small amount trickier if we want to go to a mixed number. Say we have the decimal 12.5, and we want to write that as a mixed number. Well, this part before the decimal point, this is the whole number part. It's going to stay the whole number part when we make it a mixed number. The bit after the decimal point, that's the fraction part. What fraction is it? Well, we have the digit 5, and we have one digit, so that's going to be 1 0 in the denominator. And again, maybe we want to simplify. When we simplify, the whole number part doesn't change. As for the fraction part, well, 5 is already prime. 10 is 2 times 5. So 5/10 is 5 over 2 times 5. Everything in the numerator canceled, so we just have a 1. Our denominator is 2. 12.5 is 12.5. If you already know off the top of your head that 0.5 is 1/2 and you just write that down, that's fine. I promise I'll give you ones that you don't know off the top of your head, though, that you actually need to work through simplifying. Okay, so decimals to fractions, decimals to mixed numbers, easy. Just do what it says on the box. What if we want to go the other way round? What if we want to write, for example, 7/5 as a decimal? Well, remember, we said that the fraction 7/5 can be understood as the division problem, 7 divided by 5. We're going to do this division as decimal division. So when we set up our division bracket, we will always, every single time forever, set it up with the denominator outside and the numerator inside. And in this case, that's kind of the way we expect things to happen, because in this example, it so happens that my numerator is bigger. Right? Notice this fraction is more than 1. Don't worry, we'll see an example in a moment with a fraction that's less than 1. Because this is decimal division, I'm going to throw in decimal points in my whole numbers. Right, 7 has no digits after the decimal point. Its decimal point's just right at the end. Same story with 5. Okay. I'm not going to write down all the multiples of 5 off to the side. You can if you'd like. 5 goes into 7 once. 1 times 5 is 5. 2 left over. I can add in a 0 after the decimal point. Bring it down. 5 goes into 20 4 times. 4 times 5 is 20. Nothing left over. Now I need to figure out where the decimal point goes. Right, I want to say 1/4 times 5 point, and that's going to be 7.0. Notice I'm bringing along the zeros that I added in. So here I have 1 digit after the decimal point. Here I have no digits. What plus none is 1. 1 plus none is 1. I should have 1 digit after the decimal point here. 7/5 is 1.4. So we've done decimals to fractions, decimals to mixed numbers, fractions to decimals. What's left? Mixed numbers to decimals. Alright, so let's say we want to write 7 and 9/20 as a decimal. Well, just like when we were going from decimals to mixed numbers, notice the whole number part is 7. The whole number part is going to stay 7. So it's going to be 7 point something. Point what? Well, we've got to make 9/20 into a decimal. So we want to convert 9/20 to a decimal. We want a division bracket. And which number goes outside? Right, the 20 goes outside. Every single time forever, the denominator goes outside. No exceptions. Alright, filling in my decimal points. Alright, now as a whole number division problem, this is super boring. Why? Well, how many times does 20 go into 9? It doesn't go in any. I've got a 0. That's okay. Zeros happen. 20 goes into 9 0 times. We've got a decimal point. We can add in zeros after it. 20 goes into 90. I think it goes in 4 times. Right, 4 times 2 is 8. So 4 times 20 is 80. Alright, 10 left over. Let's have another 0. Let's see, 2 goes into 10 5 times. So 5 times 2 is 10, and then a 0 on the end because it's 20. Nothing left. Okay. Now all we have to do is figure out where the decimal point goes. Right, so we'll have 0.45 times 20 point is 9.00. So 2 digits, no digits. What plus nothing is 2? Well, we'll have to have 2 digits after the decimal point here. We'll have to have 0.45. Alright, so that tells us that 9/20 is 0.45. That means 7 and 9/20 is 7.45. That's all there is to it.